Well, the awaited time has arrived. After all the rumors and leaks and teasers and little mistakes, LEGO has officially announced that Bionicle is returning in 2015. We still know very little about what's coming up for the new Bionicle line, but we know enough whether or not to be excited about it. So, what do I think? Well, when I first saw the leaked picture, I was very intrigued. But also, I'm not surprised LEGO decided to reboot Bionicle. In 2010, Bionicle was failing for two main reasons. One, the Bionicle fans from earlier years were too old on average to get excited about biomechanical heroes. And two, new fans were overcome with a storyline far too complex to get hooked on, and this resulted in Bionicle's demise. However, rebooting Bionicle fixes these two problems. One, the old Bionicle fans feel nostalgia for the old Toa heroes, and two, new fans are excited about a new storyline and the chance to follow Bionicle from the beginning. It's kind of like how TV shows and superhero movies keep getting rebooted. This reboot is also fantastic at a business standpoint, because LEGO can get the purchasing power of many old and new fans instead of neither in 2010. When I heard that Bionicle was returning, I was really hoping that it would start off where it left off, but I understand that old Bionicle fans are not the target audience, so I'm sure LEGO doesn't find my say very valuable. I'll admit I'm in the minority, but I like the complexity of the story, even though there were inconsistencies along the way. But I loved how expansive the story got without being expansive like Star Wars or Middle-earth. When I heard confirmation that it was a reboot, I was disappointed, but understanding. I'll admit that I'm excited to see where the line will go, but I'm not jumping up and down screaming in anticipation. LEGO's plan for Bionicle's reboot can be described in one word: simplicity. Everything is simple and they want it to stay that way. The original Bionicle was so complex no new fans could get involved and old fans were confused themselves. So this time LEGO does not want to make that mistake again. The characters are simple, the elements are simple, the tools, the masks, the story, the villains, the tasks, holy crap, it's all just laid out with no trickery or complex backstory. This is everything. You can hold it in your hand instead of trying to juggle 8 different things at once. 2001 started off very simple, and 2015 has a similar quest for the masks story too, but the new Bionicle is even easier to follow. When you compare the two, 2001 had 12 different mask names and powers, 12 main characters, and who knows how many Matoran with names, a personality, and an occupation. 2015 has some masks, 6 with only the elemental powers, about 10 main characters, and a bunch of other people that probably no one cares about and they won't matter. Simple. But I find it too simple. Just look at the island. It looks nice, but like the story, it's too simple. It looks very similar to the Settlers of Catan Island, where mountains separate biomes and each biome is very distinct. My point is, it doesn't look as natural as Motunui. It's just too bordered and unnatural. Motunui just blended in better. I like how the Toa's personalities are for the most part kept the same, but the changes will be an adjustment. Tahu is forgetful, Kopaka is clumsy, Pohatu is scared of the dark and not water, Gali is humor inept, and Anua is sleepy. I understand that these changes are to make the story more humorous for the new audience, because LEGO wants Bionicle to be more kid-friendly, whereas the old Bionicle was much darker. The kid-friendly tone is clear in the Legend video, but all that I ask is please give the Mask of Ultimate Power a better name. I'm not an advocate for major change, so the new island, completely different origin story, new Toa personalities, and a Gimu as the new Motunui will take getting used to. But Makuta's back as the same jealous villain. The one suggestion I like regarding the reboot is that alternate timelines are canon in the original Bionicle story. So this new story can simply be an alternate timeline where different events took place and things are much different. That way I can be happy that the original story still exists while this one is just an alternative in some other dimension. It would be awesome if the new Bionicle line could intersect in some way with the old one, but the new team has no plans to do such crossovers, and again, they want to make it as simple and separate from the old story as they can. Also, many of the people working on Bionicle now are new, and Greg Farshty will not be involved. I expect the story to be much different, but the new Bionicle team has hinted that there will be Easter eggs for the old fans to look for, which will be really fun for us. In regards to the sets, I'm really excited to get them when they come out. From the reviews I've seen, they look great, especially Tahu and Kopaka, so come January, I'm buying all 6. I may be buying them mainly for nostalgia purposes, because I don't plan to buy any of the Protectors or the Lord of Skull Spiders. That could have been better. That's basically all I can think of so far for Bionicle 2015. It's just a waiting game now to see what the writers pull off, and they're super excited about the reboot, so I expect them to do great. And with that, let's start off Bionicle, Generation 2.